Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim, and I am doing this analysis again because I have bought a new video recording app, and I'm going to see how it works. So I think this might work out a little bit better. I was having some issues getting OBS working correctly, and it's mostly my fault. It's just because I'm such a klutz with computers. But I decided I would give this a go. Let me switch to the 4 hour, since that's what my analysis was meant to be over. I had the daily open, but this is the 4 hour chart. And I have a little bit I want to discuss with you this morning about the charts. Looks like we have lost this trend support. Not quite yet. We still have an hour left to recover. So, I mean, a lot of times I will see wicks that exit the trend, and then we end up closing the candle above the trend support, which ultimately is more like I don't know the best word for it. It's kind of like a fake out, I guess, where it looked like people started selling because they were saying, oh, we lost the trend support, but then we ended up just wicking out of it, and then we may end up even hitting the trend resistance again up here, which would lead to another all-time high. But, like I said, I wouldn't hold my breath. I would set a stop loss and hope for the best. But, like I said, none of us is clairvoyant. So, the best we can do is, use stuff like the stop losses to our advantage. So that way, if we do go long and we fail and it goes down instead of going up, at least we won't lose very much. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it, is try and minimize those losses. Be brave, enter along if you want right here. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being brave, as long as you are smart when you're being brave and take advantage of some of the tools they give you. Don't be like the guy that goes out when it's 20 degrees outside with shorts on just because he can. You know what I mean? Wrap up, bundle up, get comfortable. You know what I mean? That's what I mean whenever I say use the tools to your advantage. Use the stop loss. Use indicators on the chart. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't need those indicators. Well, neither does a lot of people, but the reason I like to use them is they are helpful to me, and the bots respect the MAs for one, and also the noobs can see these lines and how they work. And that's how I remember whenever I finally started understanding TA, it was because of some of these indicators, and I was like, whoa, they do follow those lines. You know what I mean? And it just all hit me at once, kind of like, wow, this stuff does work. You know what I mean? And that's when people tell me TA doesn't work, and that's not true. It does work. It's just not it doesn't mean you're clairvoyant. It doesn't mean you can tell the future like they think it does. You know what I mean? TA isn't made for that. TA is all done by humans, for humans. There's going to be error, but it's been around for 400 years. They started doing it back in rice trading in Japan. Rice trading. Let me say that again. Rice trading. They were trading literally rice using candlesticks and learning all of this stuff back in the 1600s, making charts. So, why would we do something for 400 years? Beat a dead horse, if you will, if it had there's no basis in reality that it works. You know what I mean? Don't give me that crap. It works. It's a complete farce to say for somebody to say it doesn't work just because you don't understand it. That's exactly why you don't think it works. If you don't understand something, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Just because I don't understand advanced calculus doesn't mean it's not real. You know what I mean? And just because you know what I mean. I'm not trying to sit here and reprimand anybody. You're allowed to feel how you want, but there's plenty of evidence to show TA works. So, I mean, I get kind of worked up when I see people say that. But just so you guys know, whenever somebody says TA doesn't work, it's not because it doesn't work. It's because they don't know how to do it. And that's exactly what it is. It's like when a kid can't say his ABCs and he gets upset about it and he says, like, nobody can do this. Of course somebody can do it. It's just you can't do it. But with a little practice, you can. You know what I mean? And eventually that kid gets to where he can say his ABCs. Now, the guy that's complaining about the charts, I can't promise you he's going to learn anything. He's not as smart as that kid is, but you know that Todd Blackburn taught me to read a chart, and I remember somebody told me, it was almost like telling a wrestler wrestling was fake. I know some of you guys remember that David Schultz slapped that reporter back in the 80s for telling him it was fake. And I remember when somebody told Todd Blackburn that he didn't think that TA worked. It was almost the same way. Todd told that guy off like a son of a gun, and it was so funny to listen to it because he really reamed him, and everything he said was true, though. You know what I mean? Todd didn't hold back. That's why I really liked the guy. You know what I mean? We weren't best friends or anything, but I did learn a lot from him, and I do miss him. So, anyways, we have a nice cup handle. I mean, a cup forming, I think, guys. Let me shorten it up to make it a little easier to see. Okay, so you can see this is sort of a cup pattern. I'm not 100% sure it's going to be a bullish ending to it, guys. It looks like we're trying to form a handle right now. And if we're going to form that handle, I think we need to come down to at least this blue line for it to be a legit cup and handle. And that still doesn't mean it's going to take off, guys. This does look like a cup to me, though. And if a handle comes down to here, that would look like a handle. But it needs to happen within the next 20 hours, I'd say. The next few candles, we need to start seeing some more movement down. If this is going to work out, guys. If we stay in the trend, it's going to be over. Especially if we break this all-time high, because we're probably going to go up after that and break the top of the trend. But anyways, time will tell about that. We can't really put any money on that yet because we're on the bottom of the trend. We could easily lose this trend line because this trend line is not that defined, this really steep one at the bottom support. So if we lose it, this 55K is all that's going to hold us up, and it looks like it's already worked once after we fell through it. So, but I almost want it to fail. That way, if I can see if this blue line is going to hold. If that handle forms, guys, I think that the market's going to notice that, and we might see a pump up to about 65K. I would say that would be the height of it. 4 hour is not as important as the daily. So if you saw a cup and handle on the daily, which let's go take a look at the daily. I haven't really paid much attention to the daily over the past couple of days. But you probably see a cup on it too. It's just not as big. Yeah, you see what I mean, guys? It's kind of a little better looking because there's not as many jagged points. But we go up, turn the cup, now we're making the handle. To make the handle, we need to come down to like 1/3 of the cup, which would probably be somewhere in this area, maybe even to the blue line. So that cup, the handle needs to come down at least this far to really solidify it, in my opinion. Now, only time will tell. Even if it does go down that far, it doesn't mean we're going to pop up like I hope. It's just one of those things where you cross your fingers and you wait and see. If you're going to play along, set a stop loss and hope for the best, guys. You know, it's just one of those things that not all cup and handles are created equal. And some of them pump, some of them don't. So, I mean, this is not a cup and handle yet. I'm totally not going to say it's going to be because I don't want anybody to remortgage their house for it. But keep an eye on it. Maybe it will work out. Hopefully it does, dude. I'd love to see a pattern like that at this height. We definitely get some air out of it, I think, because a lot of people with FOMO in saying, "Oh, there's a cup and handle," you know, and that's the way these market work. It's full of FOMO. But anyways, the daily looks decent. Right now, we topped out again where we topped out before, so that's no surprise, guys. That's resistance right there. That's probably the strongest resistance on the chart at the moment. So in order to break this 58,250, we're going to have some a little bit of volume, which could come from FOMO. And you know what that FOMO can come from? From this cup and handle forming. Now, we'll just have to wait and see if that's the case, guys. I can't promise you anything, but I'd love to see it happen. Now, let's go back to the 4 hour. 4 hour is my favorite chart, if you haven't noticed, because it's fast enough for me to make decent trades off of it, but it's also slow enough for me to not freak out every 5 seconds when I see a candle jump around, because like the 5-minute candles kick my ass. I don't like them, dude. They're too fast. But we have a lot of support, guys. This blue line is the 786 fib right here, so that's supported about 52K. That's where I want the handle to go down to. So the reason why I think that it would hold is because this orange line and this blue line are almost identical at the same height. It's double support, guys, and that gives the market confidence. Especially if we approach it, we're likely to see a bounce. You know why? Because the bots see that there's 2 supports here. So do human traders, and they're all going to react accordingly. That's how the markets work, guys, is whenever traders see stuff like that, they react accordingly. We all act the same because we all know, we all want to make profit, so we all do the same shit. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't be cussing. The same stuff. And when we see the support doubled up like that, it gives us confidence. And now it's not even, look, there's support doubled up down here too. 2 double supports, and all of the support in this area is important. Look, we have the 786 fib up on top, this blue long line. That's at about 52,000? Yeah, 52 grand. This orange line is almost 52K. It is at 52K. If you look over here at this number, it says 52,037. That's where it's at right now. And the cloud is right below that, and so is this support at 50K. So I mean, we have so much support here. The 200 MA is right there too. So I am saying, guys, that I have a real confidence that we can beat this all-time high with all this support down here. If we fall through that support, guys, it's going to be hard to retake it, because look at how much support is there. That's tons of support. So what I'm saying is we need to use this to our advantage. This is our opportunity to break 60K today, hopefully. We'll have to see. It could happen this weekend too, but today is the last high volume day of the week. Usually the weekend's a little slower, so if it's going to happen, let's happen today, you know what I mean? So keep your fingers crossed, guys. We'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. But 58,250 is what we need to beat, or 350, I'm sorry. But with all this support down here, it's totally possible, especially because we're above the same support on the daily too. The 50 MA on the daily, the 50 MA, the 200 MA on the daily, and the daily cloud. All of those are below us, and that's all bullish, guys. When you're above all those, it's bullish. So right now, we're on bull street. We need to take advantage of this. Hopefully, looks like we're recovering back up into this trend. We have an hour left, though, guys. So if we can turn this red candle, this current red candle, into a green candle, that cup and handle may not work out like I had hoped. You know what? We're gonna have to wait and see. We could still pump regardless. It's just gonna have to be one of those things where we wait and watch. So I just thought I'd bring it to your attention. I know a lot of people, when they first get into the charts, that's all they notice is these little cup and handles, and they want to see head and shoulders. They're like, hey, where's the head and shoulders at? Where's cup and handle? And they don't realize how rare they are on the charts. Even this right here isn't guaranteed to be a cup and handle, guys. In fact, there's people that would argue with me and say, Tim's smoking crack. There's no way that this is a cup and handle, you know what I mean? And maybe they're right. You know what, I don't like to argue about that kind of stuff. I just like to say, let's let the markets decide. If you want to play it, go long, just set a stop loss. I don't want to see anybody lose money, even if I'm arguing with them, so it's just one of those things, guys. Keep on top of it, keep your eyes on it. We're gonna win some, lose some. It's just like baseball. You're gonna get up, you're gonna get to bat, you're gonna strike out sometimes. That's fine, you know what I mean? Get that strike out, go back to the dugout and chill out, sit on the bench for a little bit, and you'll get another chance at bat. Come on up and hit the next one out the park. You know what I mean? That's the way trading is. You're not going to win every time. So you're just going to have to learn to take the L, you know what I mean, every once in a while. And I hate to do it, but you got to bite the bullet and do it, guys, So the best way to minimize those bullet biting incidents is to use a stop loss. Because you can literally cut your your losses in half or more. Whenever I set a stop loss, I set it below whatever support I feel is. I have a video for it. If you guys are interested, it's in my YouTube channel. But it shows you how I go about doing that, and the effort is to minimize losses, and that's what everybody should be doing. Risk management is what it's called. Minimize those losses, maximize the gains. By doing that, by maximizing the gains, that means if we're going up like this, like we're doing here, I'm taking my stop loss that I had here. Here, I'm going to draw a little line. Alright, so there's my stop loss. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so here's my stop loss. I'm going to make it a little shorter. Alright, so let's say I had it set right below this support down here, and we start pumping up. Okay, well, we pumped up to here, right? So where am I going to move this? Because I'm not going to leave my stop loss all the way down here. I'm going to walk it up to right below support, where I feel support is, which is that blue line, in my opinion. So if we lose that blue line, I feel like we're going to drop even further. So I want my stop loss to be somewhere below that to alleviate some of the losses I'm going to experience afterwards if I don't have the stop loss set there. But since we walked up, I might move my stop loss below this next support right up here, because 55K is now support. that's how I lock in my profit, guys. It's a crude way of showing you guys how I walked it up. You know what I mean? It's very much, it's a little bit more scientific than that, but not much. I do it a lot by eyeball and hook and crook. You know what I mean? It's not really a method to it. I don't have percentages. Everybody goes, what percentage do you set your stop loss? I don't do it that way. I just do it by heart, I guess. But like I said, if we dip, I'm gonna lose this. The stop loss will trip. But since I'm hyper aware today, I'm gonna be watching it. If we do lose that, and my stop loss does trip, I'm gonna lock all this profit in, so I'll be happy. But I'm gonna rebuy if we test this blue line because I think it's gonna hold. So like I said, I'm gonna be watching. I have my alerts set for if we hit 50. You know, somewhere around above this, right above the top of this circle is probably where I need to set it. I need to make sure my alert's set at about 53K. That way, if we drop there, I know that that handle is very close to forming. I might want to set a buy there. It's really my call, though. That's what I'm going to be doing, is watching for that. You know what I mean? That's how I set my alerts, is stuff like that. I'll set an alert, say, okay, now it's time for me to buy or do what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do something, I need to enter now, you know. And I suggest you use those tools to your advantage, too. Make alerts. Even Coinbase has them, so I mean, they're not hard to do. MACD doesn't look particularly bullish right now, so I mean that doesn't mean much, guys, but I'm just telling you, you know what I mean. Out of all the bullish stuff we have up here, this is the least bullish. So like I said, guys, cross your T's and dot your lowercase j's because it could get crazy today. It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend, people. I mean, make good choices on your trades, you know. Don't I had somebody tell me recently, Tim, I bought here, sold here, bought here. I said, that's the exact opposite of what you need to be doing, you know. Do the opposite of that. Buy here, sell here. Buy here, sell here. You know what I mean? And people are like, well, how do I know when the bottom and top are? I was like, you seem to know whenever you were buying here and selling here. You know what I mean? I was like, how did you hit the top every time? You know what I mean? Do the opposite of what you did. I don't know how you did that. I don't ever have that luck. You know what I mean? I can't ever hit the top. I usually hit around there. You know what I mean? Like when I sold, my stop loss was right below this yellow line. So when we lost it, I didn't hit the top, which is okay with me. Like I told my the clients in my course, I don't care about this little bit of money. I care about this big bit of money down here that I got when I bought down at what, 18K and 24K on the way up. You know what I mean? That big chunk of profit's what matters, not this last little bit that all the so-called awesome traders, yeah, I sold at $52,344. I'm like, how did you do that? You sold at the exact top. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? It's like they act like they're perfect and stuff like that. I know a lot of guys like that. And you know what? They can pretend all they want, but you know, I'm going to tell you right now, I hardly ever hit the top. When I do, I don't brag about it either. It was really an accident when I do it. So I usually don't sell anyways. I usually let my stop loss sell. So that's another reason why I don't usually sell at the top, is because I'm in hopes that my support will hold so my stop loss won't get tripped. But if it does get tripped, you know what? I don't move it down. I don't do anything. I'm out of the game. I wait till next time. Take that profit. Take what I want. Put it on my ledger. I mean, not my ledger. My Bybit. And then which is another cold storage, and then I'll let the rest slide on, you know, Coinbase Pro. I'll leave a certain amount on the exchange, but I always take out the majority of the profits just in case. I mean, people tell me Coinbase is insured. You know what? It's insured, but only for US dollar if you keep it in there, not Bitcoin. They're not going to be able to replace your Bitcoin if it gets stolen. I mean, there's no guarantee that they will, so I wouldn't take a chance, you know. Put it in a cold storage. It's nothing to it, guys. It's very easy. If I can do it, you can do it. So, anyways, market's bullish, in my opinion. We're still in the uptrend. We have a big wick out of it over here, guys, but it looks like we recovered nicely right back into it. So, like I said, keep an eye on it. I mentioned a cup and handle earlier, but nothing's written in stone. Looks like the bulls fought back from this hitting 55K, so that shows you that the bulls aren't ready for that yet. You know what I mean? And we're still heading up, so you know what I mean. We're zoom out when you're in doubt, or when you're in doubt, zoom out, and it looks like we're still in the uptrend to me. So bullish is all systems go for me. We have a lot of support, so let's hope the bulls can beat 60K today. It's totally within reach, guys. It's like $1,400 away. What do you think? Anyways, like I said, have a good day. I'm gonna get out of here. I might do another video analysis tomorrow. I'm on a 3-day ban for Facebook because I wrote the men officials in NFL aren't good, and they took it as like a sexist thing for me to say, so they banned me for 3 days for saying the men officials aren't, because there was a woman official that was going to be in the NFL Super Bowl game. So I was like, well, maybe she'll do better than the guys because the guys aren't very good. And they banned me for 3 days for saying that. So you guys better be careful out there. They are banning people for nothing. I couldn't believe I got banned for that. I didn't want to bring it up in the analysis, but it really bugs me. And I want everybody to know exactly what happened, because I even apologized to them and they won't take it for an answer. They're like, nope, you're banned for 3 days. I'm like, for what? I'm a man. I made fun of myself. But you know how it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. But I won't be able to post anything until Sunday. So I'm going to have one of my buddies post this. But sorry, guys. I wish I could post, but they won't let me. They won't even let me like or comment or anything. So y'all bear with me at least till Sunday. But I love you guys, and I will see you next time.